Yay.
Thank you so much, everyone. We have a conversation right now with Ber about who was I. And again, my name is Eduardo Villegas, and I'm very happy to have you, all of you, that we were participating in this project, Carambola Research Project. I want to welcome everyone. With us is Ber Susan, is Tete from UDEM, Mihai Sugar, and Paulina. So to start with this, I would like to make a question, especially to Bert and Tete, about what's your opinion about this initiative, about Carambola project?
I think the project itself is great. Um, yeah, no, I really am excited about it and enjoyed the process. Even though it might not have been as successful as I might have wanted it, but I thought it was a really great experience.
Okay, I also like the this project, and I think it's a valuable project for students. And well, I hope we can continue with this. Sorry about the girl here
Don't worry, Tete.
at home. So
We know you're on vacations already, so
yes, I'm doing my best. Sorry.
thank you. So, talking about the students' activities, what's your opinion about the activity? And do you think that we should modify something and, I don't know, to add something, remove something, change something? Do you think the activities that we are using right now to students are in the way that we making this project success?
Uh, that was the first activity with the stereotypes. It
Okay.
the activity didn't really work well with my students, only because they're listed as Canadian, but well, every student that I have wasn't Canadian. They're usually from another country, like either China or Nigeria, and so that activity wasn't necessarily so successful with them because most of the stereotypes were Canadian stereotypes.
Okay. Thank you, Bert. Tete, for you, it's well, you have been project before. So during this time, do you think that we need, or you think that we should change something about what we were doing in the past semesters and what we're doing this semester?
Okay, well, I think there were some activities that we didn't have time to do, and those are confusing for students. I don't know, maybe the instructions or something, but we didn't make them this semester, like the concept map or the one that they have to define concepts, those ones. But now we didn't make them, so maybe if we can um, rearrange those ones to be more clear for students, that'd be better.
Thank you so much.
I would like to
I
say,
was going to say, Mishi, do you have any opinion?
yeah. Well, you know that we have a kind of crisis this year because we had another school with other students, but unfortunately they couldn't follow up the instructions and the activities in the first part, so they got lost a little bit. And I think in a way they finally lost the connection with us, so they just decided to leave the project. It's something that never happened before, and the well, it's an important thing or event on the way how we have to manage and organize the activities. So one of the consequences of the whole project in a moment it was quite delayed, and that's why we had to make this decision. We tried to keep a little bit tight the connection with you with additional information and emails. I think, and thank you for that, we could save the project. because it was really an kind of collapsing in a moment. But finally, that is why we had to decide to skip three activities, which is one is about working with definition, the other is in terms, the other is about key concepts, and finally you have to make the conceptual map. You mentioned Tete. I think all of them are quite good ideas, but I also realized in the last couple of years that they didn't work really good. And one thing is that is important, that because of the beginning, one student it depends on the other students' work. So if one is out of the teamwork, the rest cannot go on. And that is why I think it's a good idea to make maybe clearer a little bit the instructions, help them with additional information, but at the same time, actually, I'm planning to redesign those kind of activities. Redesign in a way like the activity before, the one when they just have to make an opinion about their knowledge, like their general knowledge, the topic, and the following one when they have to research, when they have to look for sources and they have to compare them. So it means that in those kind of activities they can start work, and if the rest are not working, they have they are in the process already, so they don't lose the whole activity and the whole process and sequence of the activities. That would be, I think, a good point for the future redesigning process.
Yes, I think that's if I can add something else, may I?
Please.
Okay, I wanted to say like it will be better if we could have like a final product of the project, maybe not just a video conference like this one in Hangout. This, I think it should be at the beginning of the project, and at the end have something that they can present to everyone. I don't know. I remember I was talking to you, Michi, about it, like maybe having an infographic or a video that they can upload and everyone can see about their research during the semester, during the project, or something that they can see what they did after all of the activities.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. Especially, well, I'm trying to make clear my some of the ideas, some of the pending development parts, and one is definitely how to bring them closer to students. So once we did it before, like organizing a general video conference when the students from one side they are gathering in one classroom, the others one in another classroom, and face to face moment at the beginning closer, and maybe it opens in a way then the collaboration among them. The second one is I would really like to get to the point where they organize one or two video conferences among them, but just in team video conferences, like among four of them, and they do, of course, with the help of the monitor person. But it would be really nice if we could get to that level of collaboration. And there is nothing that as an obstacle for them that why it couldn't work. So we would say thank you, good points. I didn't know anything else about video conferences. Bert, how do you feel about that? We can't hear you because your microphone is turned
No, sorry.
right.
Okay, is that good now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, this is really my first real experience with a video conference. And I mean, I think that's one of the issue I had on my end. I was also just learning a lot of the technology as well, and then having to teach the students on how to use it, especially with like the Google Docs on a variety of different backgrounds. But I think the video chat is
uh, like a really good idea, especially at the beginning, just to get the students into the project.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Michi, do you have something else to say?
I think I'm okay. Tate also mentioned that it would be nice to finish with like a final project. This is also part. Sometimes it worked the info site what they had to create before it worked better. Sometimes not. I think it would be a nice finishing. Maybe you have a different opinion or ideas. That if they have do like a summary video conference where they evaluate their project, they evaluate the importance of the topic, and then finally they integrate it in a place. They have to publish it in a way, and they share it with each other. Uh, maybe something more. Is that you're looking for, Tete? Microphone, turn it off. Yeah.
Okay. Well, no, wasn't what I had in mind, because I think it's not only that they can evaluate the project, but that others see what they did. So I was thinking more of a product that can be shown to every member of Carambola, not only their team. I mean, evaluating their project by their team will be nice for them, but I think, in my opinion, shouldn't be like the final product of this project, but something that can be seen by everyone and can be shared by everyone. Like to what conclusion did they get after their investigation during the project?
Okay, you mean to create a new Google Doc. So in this new Google Doc, just to share all the final projects, so everyone can see what they want to see, right? Is what you are suggesting? No.
Maybe, I mean, from there they can have hyperlinks to what they did. Maybe, I don't know, as I was telling you, maybe they can have an infographic of what they learned,
Yes,
or
yes, yes. I
or
can
as a,
understand perfectly that. Okay. Well, as you know, right now the students only have access to the document of the group. Only the teacher, the monitors, and the four students. So definitely we will need, but obviously if Mishi is just to create a new document where everyone can have access.
Yeah,
Right?
we can experiment some things. Actually, we did it before. The final activity in the first years, it was to bring. There are main topics and like specific, or how we call them. So we gathered all the people from different Carambola groups or teams. We gathered them in one collaborative presentation, and this way they had look for research a little bit, or at least to consult the other projects as well. The thing is that the way how we managed it before, it didn't really work, to tell the truth, because how we are struggling always a little bit, that many students, they lose the line in halfway of the project or at the ending of the project, even more when they bring them together. There are more parts of the same project, and there are more factors in this way that is difficult to control. But the idea is really good. I think it's really important that I understand the message, that to consult each other's projects and each other's findings. We are going to work on it.
Thank you. Michelle, just for another last question, but I would like to know only, Bert, for you, what about the time? I don't know, the suitable between the activities. Do you think it's the right one? We have enough times to let the students to work on the activities. Do you think that we need more time or we need less time? In
No,
your experience, what do you think?
I actually think the pacing is actually really good.
Okay.
the time between uh, assignments because like especially the earlier assignments, right? Uh, it really gets them. You don't want to like have too much of a delay because um, that's when like students will wander off and get lost and get distracted by something else. And I thought it actually worked really well to have them really close together. Um, I know, like especially with some of my students that didn't keep up, they did express like this idea of um, it was kind of like they almost felt helpless. They're like, oh, I can't catch up. There's like so many that I've missed when I do, and I mean, like on my end, I could be like much of a cheerleader, I guess, to encourage them to get the assignments done because the particular assignments don't require that actual much time to actually complete. So I think the pacing is good, and uh, like I almost feel like if you spread them out too much, you have more students not completing assignments.
Did the monitors that are supposed to be telling the students to work or that they're late or I don't know, delayed in one of the activities or whatever, did they help your students? Did you hear about the monitors' work?
Um, yeah, it did. Uh, I felt like some students were connected with them more than others.
Okay.
Um, like I remember like even at the end when I was talking about getting them to contact their monitors, um, up the video call. For some people, it was no problem right away. Like at some point, like some like, oh, who's my monitor? How do I contact my monitor? So it seemed like they like no interaction with monitor.
Okay.
Okay.
About student motivation, if we are in this time, and even Tete, how do you feel about the same question about time and the student motivation engagement, if you can call it like that? How do they feel about this project, and how do they feel with the activities, and how do they feel with the monitors help?
Well, with my students, I think they like this project. They feel really interested about it. About the time, as we know, well, we had kind of a problem this semester, but well, the time that it was given, it was fine for them to finish. And with the monitors, I don't think they don't have contact with them. I mean, and also the monitors, they aren't doing things like at the same time. In some teams, they said something to me, but in others, they didn't have that information, and so on. I mean, it wasn't always clear with all, and I mean, no one told me that they had a relationship or a conversation with their monitors.
Okay. So you don't feel really close this relationship, and you don't feel that much that they were helped more by their teacher or by like generic instructions maybe. Is that
Yes, yes, that's what it was more my help than what the monitors could provide.
okay? Great.
Um, just so to get an idea, Bert, how often did you see your students and talked about this project?
I would see my students about 5 days a week. So I would be in contact with them. Now uh, we would talk about the project every day, but probably at least once a week we would be uh, and discussing it in class, um, especially when particular topics actually matched up with curriculum expectations with the course. Um, like for example, at the end of the term, we do a unit or a lesson on terrorism, and so like students could, uh, you know, we ended up talking more about the project as it related to the course, or we do a lot of topics on globalization and positive and negative effects of. Um, but yeah, like one of the actually biggest problems really uh, for me wasn't really even with my students and getting them to progress further is uh, like all work was done outside of class, and I feel like next time I'm going to have actually um, in class times in computer labs to ensure that they're actually getting online and working towards it. Because like literally, I would say, um, I'd say, okay, tonight do activity number 3, and the next day some people would do it and some people wouldn't. And I thought like the fact that it was actually tied into their course mark with me, the project was connected with curricular activity, that somehow motivated them to get uh, the assignments done. But it was actually I was actually quite shocked to see that some of them just didn't even even that marks were based on it. And even with the relaunch when and skipping the several assignments, how many students just didn't get the work done. And so like really I think next term I'll have to be uh, in the class making sure that they're sitting down on their computers um, and working on activities in class. But yeah, so like I would be with them every day, and so really there's no reason why they should be lost in the program.
Okay.
I think that's a very good idea to in a way find time in the class, right, and take them to
Yeah.
know that also did this practice in the afternoons, even if they are out of the regular curriculum of the high school. But in the afternoon, they had this kind of activities. Maybe you can share with us how did it go. But I think it can work very well to take them to the laboratories and work in them in real time. Go ahead.
Well, I think that yes, the best way you can make them work is to have a meeting with them on a computer lab so that they can be actually working, and if they have any questions, they can make them at that moment and not going home trying to do it and then coming back the next day saying I couldn't do it because I didn't understand. So that's the best way to make them work. Um, in my case, as some of the student, well, every student already have an extracurricular activity in the afternoon. It was very difficult for them to have them meet one specific day of the week. So I had to take turns, and not everyone got to class every week, or maybe not even once every 2 weeks.
Mhm.
But I mean, if I can have like the class as an extracurricular activity before the beginning of the project and the beginning of the semester, they can uh, like save that specific day to be in this meeting and not see if they can go or not. Okay.
What do you think that could make this virtual collaboration among students work better? What would be the factors that the the virtual teams could work? Like generally, what should we add to the program in a hidden way or in an open way, whatever?
Well, like I feel like uh, it's hard for me to judge for this year because a lot of the assignments were uh, we weren't able to go on with the assignments. The assignments looked really good, and I thought um, even like just a really lot of really great assignment concept maps. Even the one of the last activities about the different types of textual analysis, whether it's actual written text or graphic or video source. And so, I don't know. I guess I don't necessarily have a great opinion about how it runs, as uh, it looked really good, and just not necessarily uh, a valuable opinion about the actual project itself, because um, uh, it just we had trouble getting started, in a sense, right? But I actually really liked all the assignments, um, and I thought they were very good. Um, yeah, so I just don't necessarily have a grade about this, or one that would be value in a sense.
Thank you.
Do you think, Bert and Tete, that there should be a little bit more activity in the teachers' lounge? So maybe if you have a doubt or something,
Yeah,
uh,
uh, yeah, no, I think you're absolutely right. And I was even thinking when we were talking about the monitors, um, I think that's where we could see actually a lot of improvement if we had um, if we were more interactive on the teachers lounge, or just actually even knowing uh, you know who the monitors are and contact information, um, uh, and so we can interact with each other. I think that's maybe one thing that probably was missing this year that could have been.
okay. Because I think that even in the teachers' lounge, if there's no activity per
Yeah.
se, we can discuss the one activity that already happened, and if you notice that one of your students had trouble with something very specific, maybe you can talk about it in the teachers' lounge, like have a discussion group or something like that. I
Yeah.
mean,
No.
I'm not in contact with the students. I'm not in touch with them on a daily basis. I went to see them this semester a couple of times just to have a test of. We're trying to make an intercultural program, and but I noticed that a lot of the students had doubts, and maybe the teachers could also have doubts, and we could all share the information in the teachers lounge, like have discussions after one or two activities, or I don't know, after five, I don't know, after some activities, to just point out if there were specific problems or I don't know, misunderstandings. um,
Right.
what do you think, Michelle?
Well, at the same time, yes, I definitely agree with that. And then the plan of the teachers' lounge is to work as a real teachers' lounge. When you arrive from your class and you just tell your colleague how how things are going, right? So what happened in your class? This is the objective, and I understand that in the virtual way roll it over by activities. And I think in the beginning it works very well because we have those 4 or 5 activities in the beginning before the students start to work, which are key concepts because they involve the teachers, because they involve the teachers to feel that it's their project, defining the topics and the subtopics. I really like that. I know that after that, there was like a 1 month and a half long period when we didn't really have, besides some emails, but we didn't really have contact. And that gap is really important to talk about continuously about the activities, about the students' processes. But we have to generate them. We have to call them by activities. So I feel that's one of my duties or projects to generate those activities which help to come up this information.
Excellent. I think that's a good plan.
Any other question, Paulina?
No, not really.
Tete, do you have any questions?
No, I don't have any questions.
No, not yet. Perfect. Bert, so as we receive very positive information and feedback from you, we would like to know what is going to be your availability semester for this fall. Are you going to be
Okay.
able to participate with us?
Do we have to
I-
stop recording it or no?
No, so like our fall term runs from August like uh, 10th till like first week in December. And so I don't know if that works for your timeline, but we will be. I'll be running the same course that I ran the project out of last semester, and I would love to do it again.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
It's the
Thank you.
same for us. We have the same weeks available.
Okay.
It's
Good.
more or less the same, Tete, right? With you is, I mean, obviously we will have some holidays during these 3 months,
Yeah.
and I know, but we can make another again
Yeah.
to to make match with all of the calendar, so we can be working.
Yeah. I also think one thing I really noticed um, um, as it got closer to the end of term and students were getting ready to hand in like their final projects for
Mhm.
all their classes and studying for exams, they got really distracted with or paid even less attention to uh, the Carambola project because it seemed like it just for my students it was so new to some of them like the idea of some of the that they were doing that I think is kind of intimidated them. And so, like even if we could finish like a week before like the end of our term, I think it could be beneficial to my students. But I mean, we can work out like the timelines whenever. But like yeah, like I'm really excited to try this again because I know things I can do on my end that I make the experience better
It,
for my students.
Because
right. Mhm.
well, based on what you're saying, we usually start the teachers start, I don't know, like
Yep.
a month or something before the students. So maybe
Yeah.
we can shorten a little bit that period of time, if we can both from each side be sure that the amount of students that are going to be enrolled, so we can
The,
further
Yeah.
and
the thing is that the teachers arrive to school before students, so we can use that time to
yes,
develop
yes, of
the first
course.
part, and in the first or maybe the second week of the school year work. So the sooner we start, the better the project will end, and then results will give. I think I really believe in that.
Yes, of course.
And I agree with Bert. I think we should finish a couple of weeks before the semester ends because, as Bert said, they are more sorry, more busy with their projects than with Carambola.
Right. One more question. Do you included Word in the notes in the evaluation process this the Carambola process, the Carambola results of the students?
You mean on my end? You mean like for like their grades?
Yes.
Yeah. So like it was kind of funny. I was talking to a student that's still around, and he was like, "Oh man, that Carambola thing really killed my grade," because it's it's like I tied it into like it's 15% of their final grade. So that's why I was kind of shocked that with some of my students, um,
Didn't work.
yeah, like that they just didn't do it because I know they're busy with other project and other school, but like this was uh, you know, and like how I broke it down was more like in sections, and so um, like the first three activities were kind of like getting to know you activities, and so I kind of had that as like a very small percentage of the 15%, and that was just more making sure that they were responding in timely fashions and being polite. Um, um, and then I had designed for throughout the activities, like chunking the activities together and providing marks for that. Um, and so like I broke it down. I think the plan was originally like 4 or 5 different marks that would go into the 15%. Would build up as the task got more and more difficult. Um, and so that's how I planned it. But like that's why I was like really shocked that even like in the end there, um, just getting them um, um, to submit it, and like a lot of them did, but like a few that didn't, I was kind of shocked because I then had to give them 0 for the incompleted activities that they didn't do. I thought it was amusing that one of my students on the last day of class brought in a Carambola to share with the class when he didn't finish the final assignment, and so I thought he was misplacing his priorities a bit there, um, and so um, yeah, so that's how I actually worked the project in.
Right.
Um,
And Tate, well, I know the way how you do, but maybe you can share your experience about it,
About the grade,
about how you manage the how you evaluate your students.
I evaluate according to their, I mean, if they do it or not. Right now, I'm not looking at the quality of the information, rather just if they completed the task or not. But if I can recall, a couple of years ago, we had like a table with percentages of the activities, and I think that was really helpful to give a grade on the performance of each student. Do you remember that, Michi? Well, I think you do.
The rubric,
Yes, but
evaluation.
also it had some percentages, like the first activities were worth less than the last ones and so on. Yes, and that gave you an overall grade of the students.
Mhm.
Yes, or am I mistaken? No? Is it true, or am I making things up?
Okay, so you're talking about extras for or the grades what we have for the students?
I'm talking about, I think it was 3, 4 years ago
Uh-huh.
that we used these formulas, didn't we? Yes, I think. Yes, that Danny and I made this evaluation.
Okay. Yeah, a questionnaire. No.
No, no, not the questionnaire, but yes, it was with a rubric and evaluating each activity. And
Yes.
also, each activity had a specific percentage to give you an overall grade of the student.
Okay. Yes, we do have this rubric, and actually, we want to share it with you, just because of the delay what we had in this project. Everything went out a little bit with the regular way. That's why. But the objective of this evaluation rubric, what we have, is really to do it in real time. So when they finish one section, when they finish 1 or 2 activities, then monitors can evaluate their students in a very objective way. So if they did it or they didn't do it, if there are three, if you're asking for 3 terms, they did it 3, 2, 1, if they are relevant to the topic, if they are not relevant to the topic. This kind of decision, what a monitor can have or can make as well. We do have these results, and we are going to share it with you. And in the future, I would like to, well, it's not like a must thing, but I would like to share it in real time with the teachers so they can base their evaluation on these results. At the same time, I think if it's a real-time process, it can also, in a way, motivate the students, a little bit like gamification elements, you know, that you're showing whose are the best 3 groups in the moment, so you don't blame on the others, but you know, it makes them like, okay, I want to be the best. I want to be the best. Maybe if I work a little bit more, I can be in the first group. We will see how this kind of activities and dynamics or work can work in the future. But definitely, we use that evaluation. Definitely, we had to redesign even the criterias of the evaluation, because some of them are working, some of them we notice that they are not working very well. So, but we do have it, and we will share it with you. And I would like to use this time or this opportunity to confirm you that we are going to send you some certificates about the participation of the students here in prep school, of course, and in bird school as well. So I think they can, well, they can use it maybe one day in their curriculum, in their CV. But if it's just a good memory about the project, I think we can be satisfied with that as well. So soon we are making making the certificate sent to both schools. Okay. Like physical certificates.
Okay.
That sounds great.
Right, and at the same time, now if we're talking about that, I'm planning like a redesigning session, maybe a whole day working on this project to readjust a little bit the good and the working and the succeeded activities, and maybe to replace some of the activities that they didn't work. So we'll see, and I would like to invite you to join with us, and maybe we can make another video call with you, Bert, to have your opinion, have your ideas about like specific questions of activities. That would be nice. I'm planning the session. There is no date for that, but I'm planning the session in about 4 or 5 weeks from now. So maybe
Okay.
it will be a call to if you are on the beach or on holiday, you know, it's like a virtual project, so there is no problem.
Yeah, okay. That shouldn't be a problem.
Great.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm available basically all summer. I'm not really going anywhere. I'm camping for a week, so I don't know if I'll get Wi-Fi. But other than that, I'm pretty much available.
That's good to know.
Sounds great. How many students do you expect for next semester?
Hold on, let me just. Oh, I guess I can't. Let me just.
Well, actually, it's a detail one.
Well, we have a class between 20 and 30 students.
Okay.
And so I think like right now there's 12 enrolled, but like our major enrollments will come in August. So like and so like usually we always have one class, and it generally runs between 20 to 30 students. 30 would be really high. I would want to avoid, but yeah, you know, like yeah, it's a popular course. So yeah, we'll have at least 20, I imagine.
Great.
Paulina, if you don't have any other question?
No, that's
No, perfect. Well, I have a question for you.
For me, okay.
Yes, of course. Do you know if we are going to have another school participating this semester? I clearly sure that probably Mary Carroll is going to be working with us this fall. But do you have another?
Actually, Mary Carroll is not going to work at Epiphany anymore.
Oh my God. Okay.
But
I
I'm
was
still
afraid
in.
about that.
Yes, I know, me too. But she decided to stay home with her baby.
Oh wow.
She just had
Yes,
a baby, and that's the reason that school out of work.
yes, she's not coming back. But I'm still in touch with Epiphany School, and I really hope that we can form this next semester a group with them. If not, I'm also trying with schools in Brazil, but I will let you
Great.
know in a couple of weeks if they decide to join us or not.
Perfect. Thank you so
But
much, Paulina.
I'm almost sure that we can work something out with
Thank
Epiphany.
you. Thank you. Tete, do you have another question? Dove, comment?
No, I don't have any. Well, if you don't want kids in the video conference, I'll prefer to be after July 13th.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, because we have an
I will
extra
take notes about it. Perfect. Bert,
Yes.
something else that you wanna say to everyone?
No, no. Just
No.
it was actually really a pleasure to be invited and to be involved in this. I think it's a really great thing.
Thank you so much, Bert. Michi, do you have something else just to finish the
Okay. Well,
hangout?
I would like to say thank you for all of you for your participation, and I can say that this program now running for 5 years and is still in like in an early stage. It's just we're doing some experiments, what can work and what not. But I'm really pleased about the collaboration of the teachers and your help, Lalo, as well. Your help, Paulina, as well, from the contacting side. So thank you all. And I just hope that we keep on working together and we're gonna have very good uh, very rich collaboration for us and for our students. I really believe in this project. I feel in a way that it's a kind of son of mine, and I invite you to work on it together. It can be much better, of course, and it will be much better if all of us work on it. So thank you very much. Thank you very much, and I wish you to in the next couple of weeks you will have some weeks to out of school or in school, but to relax a little bit and not think about this kind of works. Duties. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Michi. Yeah, so we now can finish this conversation, this video hangout. Thank you so much, everyone, for your time and participate with us. We'll be in touch, last just like Michi just already said. So thank you so much, Tete. Thank you so much, Bert, Paulina. Thank you again for everything. So see you next
Thank you.
time, and we'll be in touch very soon.
Okay,
Have a
bye
great
bye.
day.
Bye
Thank you.
bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.